take on a Friday Eve. Molly Karam here in Bristol with Max Kellerman, Stephen A. Smith, and Jalen Rose. But before we get to that, let's check in on the tote board over here. Take a quick look at the brackets. Nearly 16 million have been filled out for the ESPN Tournament Challenge. You have about 2 hours left. Get on there. Fill out that bracket, and you might just win some money. Meanwhile, we got hoops to get into. The Splash Brothers taking another hit. Klay Thompson is expected to miss up to 2 weeks with a fractured right thumb. League sources told ESPN this would force Thompson to be absent for the next 7 games. Meanwhile, Steph Curry is sidelined with a right ankle sprain, an injury that continues to be troublesome for him. He'll be reevaluated on March 20th. They still managed to get the W over the Lakers last night, though. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Before we start, good morning. Stephen A., I'll start with you. What was your first thought when Klay got injured?
Oh, Kevin Durant, what's up, baby? How you doing, Kev? What's going on? You gonna handle your business? That's what I want to know. I mean, listen, we know you're a career 27-point-per-game scorer. I'll get all of this into all of this in my final take later. But the point is that we know what you deliver. This is one of the greatest scorers in the history of basketball. This is Kevin Durant we're talking about. I know that Steph Curry is not healthy. I know that Klay Thompson is not healthy. I also know that Kevin Durant, if you want to be recognized as that man who should be in the conversation for the best player in the world, a champion, an NBA Finals MVP. It's a regular season. Let me look at this schedule. I mean, far be it for me to bring this up, Jalen Rose. Far be it for me to bring this up, Max Kellerman. But here's the deal. You are Kevin Durant. You still got Draymond. All right? You still got the Sean Livingstons, the Swaggy P's of the world, and everybody else. You are who you are. It's the regular season. And, oh, by the way, check it out. I got Sacramento next. I got Phoenix after that. I got a San Antonio Spurs squad that we're still not sure will have Kawhi Leonard. And even if he's back, what kind of shape and condition or whatever it is will he be in? I got the Atlanta Hawks. Utah's nothing to sneeze at. Quint's not doing a great job with them. Indiana's nothing to sneeze at. Milwaukee. But these are beatable teams. And then you got Sacramento and Phoenix after that. I just don't see the problem. I mean, handle your business. Handle your business. A regular season.
Rolling eyes at you here, Stephen.
I don't give a damn.
I really wanted Stephen A. to go first on this topic this morning because I was going to jump all over him. I didn't know you were going to go there. I thought where you were going to go is, look out for home court, right? Now if this means that the Rockets are going to get home court, maybe the Rockets can win. And this
I'm leaving that to Jalen.
Well, this is what I have to say to that. Maybe I have to say it to Jalen.
Everybody's face. What the heck?
Well, I know this man. And I'll leave it to Jalen maybe, but I'm going at someone right now. The way you say, Stephen A., you don't want to hear no excuses from LeBron, right? A lot of times you think people are planting excuses, so if he doesn't win in the finals, he has an excuse. Let's say this about Golden State and the Rockets right now. Because early in this season, when the Rockets wouldn't lose when they were healthy, I thought, something's different. Maybe that's a real threat to Golden State. And now we have a sample size of, 35 games when they're fully loaded. They've lost once by 2 points on the road to a Pelican squad that had AD and Boogie. That's the only loss of the season. No excuses. If the Rockets get home court and beat the Warriors, it's because they're better than the Warriors. Period. I don't want to hear from anybody about, if Klay Thompson wouldn't have gotten hurt 2 weeks in the regular. Do you mean to tell me that I'm going to hear that the 4th best player on a team gets hurt for 2 weeks in the regular season, and that's why a team didn't win the championship? What that means is, I'm talking about if it was a catastrophic injury, Steph Curry's not available for the playoffs. I get it. But 2 weeks without your 4th best player in the regular season, if that means the Rockets get home court and beat the Warriors, so be it. What that really means is the Warriors are not as good as the Rockets.
Here's where I'm going. And Stephen A., good morning, by the way.
What's up, man?
Without the Splash Brothers, and I hear what you're saying about KD, but you know this, usually great teams are built beyond the weaknesses of their best players. Was the second person you named Swaggy P?
Yeah.
Okay. That means that they're really short-handed. And so the first thing that came to my mind is that the Houston Rockets are going to have the #1 seed. And therefore, they're more confident, and they have the improved opportunity to win the Western Conference now. That's what came to mind. Because James Harden, MVP this year. Chris Paul, All-NBA this year. And this is where I trump the other names that you just said. Eric Gordon, averaging 19 points this year, doing a terrific job. Clint Capella, who's now become a member of that Big Three, amongst the league leaders in rebounding and dunks and field goal percentage, a terrific defender down low. They have the defense in Trevor Ariza, Bamute, and Tucker. The Houston Rockets are a formidable foe. The Golden State Warriors, of course, they're going to talk about not caring about the number 1 seed. Guess why? Because they're not getting it.
Well,
what else they're supposed to say?
Let me come in. Let me lean on you. Let me lean on you because I need to interrupt to come back to you because I need you to understand what my position is from weeks ago.
Okay.
From weeks ago, Max Kellerman and I had the debate, and I was saying that the Warriors would get the number 1 seed in the West. I'm on the record saying if Houston gets home court advantage, we're talking potentially a 7-game series in the conference finals, and Game 7 would be in Houston. But I was saying the Warriors, I believe, would get the number 1 seed. The premise of my argument right now is that I still believe that there is no excuse for the Warriors not to go after the number 1 seed and not to be able to get it. I am not implying that Swaggy P is better than all of those other guys on Houston outside of James Harden and CP3. What I am saying is Kevin Durant is so great that he has enough, because of his greatness, he has enough of a supporting cast in the regular season. When you compare Golden State's remaining schedule with Houston's remaining schedule, with what he has available to him based on his skill set, it should be enough for the Warriors to still get the number 1 seed in the West. That's what I'm saying.
That's not accurate because Draymond Green is also dealing with a back injury or shoulder injury. He missed the previous game. So the bottom line is Kevin Durant is the reigning finals MVP. He is a champion. But guess what? There's a reason why he left Russell Westbrook at OKC to go play in Golden State, to go run with the guys that happen to be injured right now. And if those guys aren't 100%, the Golden State Warriors won't win it this year. People aren't paying attention to something. Steph Curry's had 17 ankle injuries. 15 of them have caused him to miss games. He's missed over 70 games with ankle injuries. He may not be 100% come playoff time.
It's happened before.
Okay?
It happened before.
Klay Thompson. Absolutely. Klay Thompson has a right thumb injury. You know what hand he shoots with? His right. And take it from somebody that has a broken hand with a plate and 5 screws with a fractured metacarpal. People are going to be whacking at that thing. They're not going to allow it to get healthy. This means to me that the Golden State Warriors this morning are officially vulnerable.
And this, I think they were vulnerable before. And when we debated this in the previous weeks, I brought up the fact that Houston has 2 primary ball handlers who can beat you off the dribble, are elite decision makers, shooters, finishers. They have 2 guys like that. And what that means is their whole supporting cast is elevated no matter who's playing the point, because sometimes they overlap. They got 48 minutes of elite point guard play, and sometimes you got them both on the floor at the same time, plenty of times. That's not the case for Golden State. So Golden State, if Steph is compromised in any way, that offense does not function the same way.
Well, see, I'm smiling at Jalen Rose because, listen, man, you're not listening to me properly, my brother. You're talking about how Houston is officially legit because Golden State is officially formidable. I didn't sit up here and tell you that Golden State, what they would do. I said what Kevin Durant should do. You brought up how, listen, he departed OKC for a reason. Well, who was the number 1 voice against him going to Golden State? That would happen to be your boy. That would happen to be me. So what I'm saying to you is that I'm looking at Kevin Durant, his greatness, and I'm saying, what you gonna do? I understand that Steph Curry and all the injuries that he sustained with that ankle. I understand Klay Thompson and how they're going to be whacking at that right hand. If you were going against him, that's the first thing you would do.
Absolutely.
You'd be chopping along at that right. That's how you roll. I get it. By the way, I watched Fab 5 again, the documentary last night on 30 for 30. I watched it all again last night, too. I loved it. I loved it. Go ahead, boy.
Where were you watching it at?
In L.A. I was watching it. It's the truth. I was watching
establishment had a television on.
I was watching it in my trailer while I was handling some business there. But the point that I'm trying to make to you,
but you watched it
in the trailer with the commercial. But the point that I'm trying to make to you is this: I'm telling you, Kevin Durant should. This is the regular season. It's not a best of 7. He should be able to handle his business in the regular season.
But you know what this ignores? This ignores, like you're saying, well, if a great player has enough of a crew, they should be able to get it done. That ignores a couple things. One, what function on the team does that player serve? Kevin Durant's not a point guard. In a league where you really, especially on a team that requires a point guard engine who can get you the dribble penetration, stretch the floor like infinitely, basically, and make decisions and all that stuff. But it also ignores what else is around you in the league. It's not like they're playing in a conference right now that the Rockets don't exist in. The Rockets have upped the ante. They don't lose.
Hey, Stephen A., I want to ask you this. Do you think that it's legitimate to suggest that Kevin Durant can lift the Golden State Warriors past the Houston Rockets without the Splash Brothers being present?
I'm saying that it's legitimate it's legitimate in the regular season. I wouldn't pick them. Listen to me. I wouldn't pick them in a best of 7 series directly up against one another with Kevin Durant not having them. But considering Golden State's schedule the rest of the way this season, I don't think it's beyond the realm of comprehension that Kevin Durant can lead them to victory in that regard. I don't believe I don't believe that's beyond the realm of comprehension.
Stephen A., start getting rooms in go look for good hotels in Toronto and Houston. That's what I'm telling you. Toronto and Houston.
Well, I already got him in Houston. I already got him in Houston, bro.
Of course.
I love H-Town.
Oh, shocker.
Love H-Town.
I wonder why. We got to keep it moving. Just like the last 3 NBA Finals, we go from Golden State to Cleveland now, where J.R. Smith said there was no conversation with Ty Lue about getting removed from the starting lineup Tuesday. Our Dave McMenamin reported that Lue said he had a positive talk with Smith before making the switch, but J.R. disagreed with that assessment, saying, quote, "We didn't talk. He sent me a text Monday, and I told him, no problem. I didn't know that it was a talk." All right, Stephen A., we got 2 stories here. What's your reaction?
Well, my reaction is I don't want to hear a damn word from J.R. Smith, particularly how J.R. Smith attacked me early in the year. Jalen and Max, you guys will remember this, where he went off about me because I pointed out how he was on the bench soaking with his hoodie on, and it wasn't a good look. Okay, and that's what I said. Now, obviously, I brought up the name Trayvon Martin in jest in terms of the hoodie, you know, and I should not have done that. I understand how people took that, and I should not have done that. But my point that I was trying to make is that you can't be on the bench with your hoodie on, sulking, when you are a champion, when you consider the best perimeter defender, and because you're not starting, you've got your hoodie on because you look detached from the rest of the team. It's your time to step up and remind everybody why LeBron James had so much belief in you, why the rest of us had so much confidence in you, why I used to rave about you when you were with the New York Knicks and you were winning 6th Man of the Year awards. But he got all personal and caught up in his emotions and all of that stuff, and now here he is basically validating what the hell I was saying at that particular moment in time. He was on the bench, he was sulking, he was pouting because he was taken out of the starting lineup. And oh, by the way, are you ready for this, Jalen?
Yes, indeed.
He actually had a point, because he had busted his tail in the offseason. He was getting up early. He was working out. He had turned his life around. He was locked in. He was focused. He had gained the confidence of a LeBron James. And then the second Dwayne Wade came on board, obviously, a lot of folks were pushed to the side because of LeBron's close brotherhood with Dwayne Wade. So you had guys feeling a bit salty because, again, he felt like, I'm a champion too. I'm the best perimeter defender. I'm longer. I can play more minutes. I can do some things. There's no reason that I should have been to the bench. And he actually had a legitimate point in that regard. The problem was he was pouting and he was sulking. And folks rallied to his defense and all of this other stuff. And as a result, he garnered sympathy, when in fact he didn't deserve any, because in the end, even though he was right, the reality is that still doesn't justify you pouting so publicly, which is what he was doing. And essentially what he's doing right now is giving us the reason why. Not only were you sent to the bench, but there wasn't even a conversation with you as to why you were on the bench, but you wasn't pouting then. Now you're basically confirming that's exactly what you were doing. We don't want to hear from J.R. Smith. You ain't even averaging the double digits. Step on the court, handle your business. You can play. You're not a scrub, but you need to be more consistent. We don't want to hear what the coach didn't talk to you about. We want to see you ball because you're capable of it, but damn it, you ain't doing it consistently enough all season long.
This is why the Cavs probably aren't getting out of the Eastern Conference this year. This is why, because J.R. Smith is a big deal. If J.R. Smith's a big, look, J.R. Smith's a very talented player.
Yes, he is.
You know, he doesn't handle the ball well, but that's about the only thing he doesn't do or hasn't done at some point in his career extremely well, including defend, by the way. He's shot well. He's shot from the line well. He's finished well. He's played perimeter defense well. Like, he's done a lot of good things at a high level throughout his career. But, you know, I go back to my rating system. 5 stars, you're an MVP caliber player. 4, you're an all-star. 3, you're a starter. 2, you're rotation. 1, you're replaceable, you know, G League replaceable. J.R. Smith's a 2.5-star player. Sorry, that's what he is. He's not that. If he's this big a deal on your team, you're not going to win a championship, likely. You know, they got 1 5-star in LeBron. He might be a 6-star. A 4-star in Kevin Love, we'll see. Rodney Hood has a chance to be a 3.5-star guy, but that doesn't mean he's there right now. Same thing with Larry Nance Jr. Same thing with J.R. Smith. They got a lot of 2.5-star guys. J.R. Smith is one of them. Just like, look at the Warriors. Klay Thompson, I'm saying, hey, if your 4th best player is hurt 2 weeks in the regular season, don't use that as an excuse for why you didn't get home court and you don't win the championship, right? But their 4th best player is a 4-star player. That guy is an all-star. Who's the 4th best player on the Cavs? Nowhere near an all-star. This is the problem with the Cavs. Not J.R. Smith per se, but the fact that he is a big deal on this team.
Max, the Cleveland Cavaliers will win the Eastern Conference.
I agree.
Stephen A., here's how this works. Different teams, based on the level of success that you're having, handle adversity different. This is not the championship level Cleveland Cavaliers team anymore. Yet they still have a lot of players that had that level of success. So for J.R. Smith, this is a new season. Kyle Korver's shooting the ball better. Rodney Hood's a better all-around performer. You can give some of those minutes to Clarkson. You can give some of those minutes to George Hill. So therefore, they're actually better with those guys in the lineup, number one. Number two, if you throw hot soup in my assistant's face, I don't want to have a face-to-face with you because you might disrespect me. Number two. 3, I've been benched, and here's the worst way you can be benched. When you walk into the locker room and you see the names on the board and yours ain't up there. If they give you some sort of notice in advance, I'm cool with that because you're giving him credit for things we should actually be doing. Did you say he was working out hard this summer? Did you say he was getting in shape? Did you say he was making sacrifices? That's why he get paid millions of American dollars to play basketball. He's just not having a really good season. And because of that, his minutes are going to be reduced. If they're going to be successful, he will be an integral part because, as you mentioned, he is a heat check player. He can make 5 threes in a half. I would like to see him be a performer if my prediction of them to win the East is going to happen. He is going to have to be a part of that.
With all due respect, don't get slick with me, Jalen Rose. You know better than that nonsense you just spewed. You know exactly what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to say like all of a sudden he worked hard for the first time in his career. I was talking about the kind of things that he was doing was serving to ingratiate himself with the king, which was LeBron James, because he thought we won a championship together and LeBron was in his ear letting him know how valuable he was. That's my man. He got me. So let's do this, okay? Because we're going to need to step it up to the throne, the Golden State Warriors, and then all of a sudden when Dwayne Wade came on board, it was a little bit different. That was salty. But again, I'm not excusing how J.R. Smith handled it. I'm just simply saying what he accomplished deserved more credibility. Now, he's in the starting lineup. He started, what was it? He started like 61 of the 65 games this year. A starting shooting guard in the NBA, averaging nearly 30 minutes a night. The man is averaging 8.4 points. 8.4 points. That's just despicable. 39% shooting. I mean, come on now. 36% for three-point rate. Not god-awful, but listen, he isn't getting it done. He needs to step up. But I'm going to also say this. Again, we go back to the whole hoodie comment that was so controversial coming from me. Allow me to say this because, Jalen, you do incredible work in the community in Detroit with your charter schools and everything else. You know, you'll get where I'm coming from with this. I'm Max and Molly as well. When I brought up the hoodie comment, okay, I'm talking about how you look detached. And now all of a sudden you see cats wear, no problem with wearing it in the lineup and all of that stuff. When you on the bench, you look a bit detached when you're doing that in the case of J.R. Smith. Now, why do I bring that up? Because we constantly hear these professional athletes talking about being role models and what have you. All I'm trying to say is that if I came on the air with a hoodie on, ESPN would tell me to take that damn hoodie off. Same thing to you, Jalen. Same thing to you, Max. If we're sitting there and you're going for a job interview or anything like that, people are going to look at that and they're going to have this belief about how you should carry yourself in a professional working environment. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Well, that's two different things.
It is two different things.
In an athletic environment, wearing a hoodie actually is stylish. And the players aren't the one that designed the uniforms. The league allowed that to happen, number one.
I agree.
Number two, for appearance, I actually go on Jalen and Jacoby wearing hoodies all of the time.
Yeah. Not on this show. Look at you. Sharp.
Absolutely.
Clean.
Not on this show.
And so that, to me, and his performance are two different things that we must separate. He can pop without wearing a hoodie. He could have had on a three-piece suit.
On that note, before we let you go, so we see you on Countdown, Jalen and Jacoby. Next time we see you in the mornings, you'll be doing what?
Get up. 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. 10 a.
I bet. Hold on, time out.
On ESPN.
You gonna be wearing a hoodie
on
then?
ESPN.
Hold on, Molly. Hold on, Molly. Hey, Jalen Rose, you gonna be wearing a hoodie then?
Sometimes,
yes.
You're lying.
No.
You're lying. Either you're lying or I promise you it won't last.
Hey, Stephen,
Mark it down.
I promise you.
Mark it down.
I'm going to be so clean on that show. I'm going to be wearing some of everything, including hoodies.
Okay.
Jewels, all of that.
All right.
We'll see.
Jalen, we'll see you on TV.
I remember when you said that.
Thank you so much. We have plenty more NBA on the way.
I'm wearing my hoodie this weekend,
Injuries
too.
didn't stop
On
the
the weekend.
Celtics and Wizards
Not
from
at work.
providing us with a double overtime thriller in Boston last night, and the guys have a lot to say about it. Plus, the free agent frenzy continues. We'll react to all the latest news and debate which teams improved the most. First Take coming right back.
They wound up trick.
The best recognize the best. I'm talking about first.